As per the circuit diagram, we are going to make connections to pin number 2. We are going to give the input to pin number 2 through a resistor. We are going to connect a feedback resistor from pin number 2 to pin number 6. We are going to derive the output from pin number 6, and pin number 4 and 7 are the minus VCC and plus VCC pins respectively. So first I will show you how to make the connections with the supply. So as you know, this 741 uses a dual supply. Now on this particular instrument, you can see there are two sections. One is this section which is called as a dual supply, and the another one is the single supply. So we are going to make use of this dual power supply, and the supply that we are going to use here is of 15 volts. So you can see here there are three leads coming out. One is for plus 15 volts, another one is for ground, and the third one is for minus 15 volts. So this plus 15 volts will go to pin number 7. Ground will go to a ground. Here you can choose any one of these lines on the board as a ground, and this plus and this minus VCC, it will go to pin number 4. So you have from minus 15 volts going to pin number 4, ground going to the ground. Remember that 741 IC does not have any explicit ground, so you cannot make to any one of the pins pin number the connection for ground. And you have pin number 7 which will be connected to this plus 15 volts. So this will be the connections for the power supply. Next, when you use this function generator to feed the input voltage, you are familiar with this function generator functions, so I am not going to go into the details of that, but what is necessary while generating the signal, that I will just explain you. Now, every experiment has a particular requirement of the signal to be fed, a particular frequency to be set, and a particular amplitude to be set. So now say for example, in this experiment you are required to generate a sinusoidal signal. So you can press this, which will give you a sinusoidal signal, and then you have this top menu. You can press this output menu, go to load impedance, and then select high Z. Once done, again go to top menu, and now you can set the amplitude. So I want to set the amplitude to 2 millivolts, 200 millivolts peak to peak. So I will set the amplitude to 200 millivolts peak to peak. So remember that I have set this generator first in the high impedance state, okay, so that I get exactly 200 millivolts generated. Now coming to frequency, I will go to top menu, select the frequency option, and then 1 kilohertz frequency I want to feed. So now my signal is ready to be fed to my circuit under test. Now once I feed this, before feeding it to the circuit under test, it's a good practice to first feed it to the CRO and check whether you are getting exactly of the amplitude of interest. So for that, I am directly connecting the output of this function generator to this CRO. So I connect the positive to the positive, and negative to negative. Okay. So right now I am using only this channel 1. Now here remember, until I press this on, the signal won't be generated. So I'll press on, and now the signal will be delivered. Now the signal which I am feeding from this function generator, it bears an amplitude of 200 millivolts peak to peak. So I have to measure here, I have to check whether really it is 200 millivolts peak to peak. So 200 millivolts peak to peak means, now here I am having two squares here, okay, and here the knob is on 0.1 volt. So 200 multiplied by 0.1, so it will be 200 millivolts peak to peak. 2 multiplied by 0.1, so that is 0.2 volts, which is equal to 200 millivolts peak to peak. Now in case it is not there, what you have to do is that you have to adjust this knob, which is called as a Kell knob. Either you increase it or you reduce it, and you do this until you get the matching between the measurement here and the value which is displayed on the function generator. Both of them should match. If I am generating a signal of 200 millivolts there, I should get perfectly 200 millivolt signal here. So you can do this for 2 to 3 values. You can again set it to 100 millivolts and check here for 100 millivolts. Change this knob, okay? Again try it for 300 millivolts and again repeat the same procedure. And repeat the same procedure for the second channel as well. So once these are calibrated, then you don't change the knob. Now once this is done, then you can feed it to the breadboard.